Jared, Polin, FroKnowsPhoto.com, and welcome to RAWtalk episode number 47, part 2, the music concert low light show. Not low life, Steven. No low lifes allowed. If you missed RAWtalk episode 47, part 1, go back and check that one out where we like talked, we like to party. We like to party. Wait. We like to party. What song was that?
I forget, but I know what you're talking about.
Was that like
something stupid?
That was the commercial that they used on TV when they did Six Flags Great Adventure.
Oh, was it that one?
How'd that song go?
The old Six Flags guy is like dancing.
Yeah, it was like, we like to party. I can't remember.
We like to party. Wasn't it something like? Or yeah. I think we're mixing two songs up. I feel like.
I think I'm mixing up two. I want to do Miley Cyrus's new song. And we can't stop, and we won't stop. And then she like jiggles her butt. She's like this. I don't know. I'm just wearing shorts today from working on it. Anyway, this is RAWtalk episode number 47, part 2. If you did miss part 1, please go back and check that out. As we went for almost 2 hours, we ended up cutting it in half around the 1 hour and 7 minute mark, I think.
Yeah, it was about
what
that.
Steven did. And it was great. So we're going to continue on. We wanted to do photo news this week and then jump back into part 2 that you didn't get to hear from last week because it was fantastically awesome. And, Steven, what are you drinking?
A cappuccino.
And yeah, they're not a sponsor. Yeah, I made Steven what? I got a Keurig because when you have ladies, sorry, Meg, a lady sleepover. When you have a lady sleepover, they like to have their coffee in the morning. So instead of me running out and going somewhere, I got a Keurig. They're not a sponsor.
Best
but
thing ever.
Wait, Keurig, if you'd like to be a sponsor, please contact me at Jared at FroKnowsPhoto.com, and you can get your lovely smeller vision going. Anyway, the Keurig's great to have.
I
don't care.
It's the best thing ever.
It's like $1 a cup or whatever, but it's easy. It's simple.
It's not even. It comes down to like 50 cents per cup.
Oh, yeah, because I bought the big
sample
pack, the sample pack from Amazon when I ordered it. And so, yeah, Steven, I made him put a placemat down because if he spills it, I will punch.
I hope I spill it.
I'm going to have to get it. Steven, I'm going to have to get a Sharpie out for that mark right there. Where's the Sharpie? Do you have a Sharpie?
I don't have one on me.
Oh, it's on the desk. I'm going to fill in that spot with a Sharpie. All right, Steven, it's time for me to eat my carrot and you to go back to photo news.
And not have another theme song, correct?
Well,
if you guys have a good theme song or you can make a good theme song, you should do it.
I'm chewing a carrot. I know. Hold on. That's true. That guy, Alec, who's a reader of the site.
Musician?
He makes EDM music.
Nice.
He did the FroKnowsPhoto thing, and it's really good. If you guys have a theme song for photo news, should we give your email address?
You can do the Steven at FroKnowsPhoto.
Yeah. Send it to Steven at FroKnowsPhoto.com.
That's STEPHEN.
STEPHEN. All right, I got to get done my carrot. Go ahead. News.
All right.
Photo news.
Photo news. We have first up the Magic Lantern team. They've done it again.
How many times do they keep doing it?
They just keep doing it. They're over and over again. This time, instead of the 5D Mark III, they cracked...
Is it 10% more sensitive, though? Oh, shit. It was 10 times more sensitive.
It was 10 times more sensitive. Or 10... No, it was 10%. Wasn't it? It was 10 times?
10 times more sensitive.
Anyway, if you guys don't know what we're talking about, check out last week's photo news. But they've done it again. They've cracked the Canon 70 this time to shoot raw video, which is pretty awesome. I used to own a 7D, love it, and it's still a great camera. The same raw buffer in the 7D that led to the raw video in the 5D Mark III, that's how they got around to doing it. And there's already test footage up, and they just released it. It's still in like that alpha mode or whatever, not even beta yet. And
it's an alpha mode.
Something like that. I forget how it works out. But yeah, test footage up. But the only thing is, resolution-wise, you're limited to 1736 by 1156, which is almost 1080p. And you're limited to only 2-second bursts, which really sucks. But
wait, hold on. It's done.
Yeah. And action and cut.
And cut. And again and cut. Does it say how big the file is?
That's what I said. It doesn't say how big the file is now. It's just the
gigs.
No, it doesn't say. I'm sure it's not that much.
Actually, I know what remember. It was how many frames a second is it doing?
Well, they didn't say about the 7D, but the 5D reached up to I think 24 frames per second, barely.
And it was raw. So every second, there's 24 frames in a second.
And then think about a raw full output.
Each raw file's probably just roughly 20 megabytes. So multiply that 24 by 24. It's 24 fold.
Yeah.
24 fold.
Yep.
I don't know math.
But anyway, so yeah, if you have a 7D, you can now shoot raw video, and again, that test footage is up. You can check it out. It's pretty easy to do too.
Well, I think obviously the future is raw when it comes to shooting video, because the control. I guess F-Stoppers posted the other day a comparison between RAW and H.264.
Yep, I saw that too. Yeah.
We know what RAW's capable of, and raw video is going to revolutionize what you can do. Just the dynamic range is freaking incredible. It's as as computers get quicker, as storage becomes more vast. It's already vast, but if you're 128 gigs or 256 gigs onto a SSD drive, you're going to be recording, I don't know, maybe half an hour on that. I don't know. I could be wrong.
And the guy who made that comparison video, he was saying like he'll still use that H.264 codec for simple things or stuff like that. But when it comes to dynamic range or something like that, like we're shooting you and the window's open behind you, that's when you're going to want to shoot raw and stuff like that. So let
me interrupt you. Let me remind you guys that this is brought to you by allenscamera.com, Nikon at allenscamera.com. You can check them out over at allenscamera.com. Their number is 215-547-2841. If you want to give them a call, if you're in the United States, they will ship you what you need. You can go there in person. Check out the used gear that Nikon has, but they also have the Nikon D600 in stock, the D7100, the D800, all of the Nikon gear you have. All the Ds. Used, new, whatever you like. They've got it there. And but also this isn't sponsorship is over now. I just want to talk about something we're going to do at Allen's Camera that I came up with called Nikon Allens-a-Palooza. That's
interesting.
Right. Nikon Allens-a-Palooza. The date, you can parenthesize this date, or I'm pretty sure it's going to be September 21st. It is a Saturday. We're going to be at the store, it's going to run from, say, 11 to however late, maybe 4 at the latest, or when people are there. We're going to have a tent. We're going to supply food for the first 200 or so people. There's going to be a food truck. I got a food truck, Steven.
Nice.
They're going to do tacos. Taco truck. Really good. They park out on the side of the street all the time, and they're really good. We're going to have giveaways. I don't know how many thousands of dollars of worth of Nikon gear, whether we're going to give away a D7100 or other things, some lenses. I don't know. But there's going to be an NPS rep that I'm told, and I think I'm going to do a rapid-fire critique
live
of people.
Like on the spot?
Like on the spot.
Oh,
I think
that'd be cool.
In the tent, people are going to be able to sit there for 2 minutes at max. They get 2 minutes to ask whatever they want to ask, critique their work. The bell goes off. It's time for the next person to sit down.
Nice.
I think that will be good. So it's going to be free. Sponsored. Well, it is sponsored. This is a Nikon Allens-a-Palooza. And I think it's going to be a lot of fun to just get out there, meet other photographers, sit around and talk, and probably have some cool discounts going on in the store.
I wish you did in a different weekend.
Why?
Because I'm not going to be
Where
here.
are you going to be?
I'll be on vacation. Well, I'll be actually shooting the iHeartRadio Festival that weekend. But
oh yeah, so I'll
just be hanging out with some major artists. That's all.
We don't do that anyway, Steven.
I know.
You're going to be hanging out. Who are you going to hang out with? Kesha?
I don't know.
You remember the time she molested me?
I'm going to go talk to Elton John for a little bit. So no, I won't be talking to anyone. I'll be
a
editing and doing all kinds of stuff.
The wind, never knowing which way left is until you get there. And give me some more.
Tiny Dancer.
Oh, Shiza. I love that song. Oh, my favorite song is
Almost Famous.
That's not his song. Yeah, well, Almost Famous is great, Hold me close now, Tiny Dancer. And who ruined that song? Somebody ruined it one day because they're like, hold me close now, Tony Danza.
Oh, I forget. I know what you're talking about. Someone did a parody of it or something, right?
And it's like every time you hear it, just all you think of is Tony Danza. Come on, more Elton John songs. I'm still standing.
There's a million. I mean,
yeah. And what was that other one with that duet that he did? He did a duet.
Oh, the Lion King one. That's a classic.
Well, it's the circle of life. Yeah, no, there was Don't Go Breaking My Heart. Now you.
Don't go breaking my heart.
And you say, I won't go breaking your heart. But it's funny. I don't know if that's Olivia Newton-John or not.
I don't know.
Whoever it was, but she had a higher voice than he did. You weren't born yet, but it was Don't Go Breaking My
heart.
No, you have to say Don't Go Breaking My.
Don't go breaking my.
Don't go breaking my.
Don't go
breaking my heart. Oh, Steven, you ruined it.
Sorry, I'm not a
You're not up
singer.
on the Elton John songs?
I am not.
What other songs?
I am, but
what other songs does Elton John do?
I'm really bad at titles.
Cry rockin', something crocodile rock.
Anyway, let's move on, dude.
But one more. There's Philadelphia Freedom. Yeah. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, next.
There's too many classics.
I love singing.
Anyway,
and Meg tells me I'm horrible at it. I'm sure you guys think so as well.
Speaking of the 7D,
well, I think you guys should tell. What should we sing next?
Nothing.
Something. All right, go ahead, Steven.
Speaking of the 70, though, more rumors on the 70 Mark II have popped up online. Spec-wise, it's rumored to have a 20.2 megapixel APS-C sensor, 10 to 12 frames per second. It's still not confirmed.
First off. Oh, this is the Mark. This is
Mark
this
II.
Is
70
so,
Mark II.
Well, the 20.2 megapixel sensor would be the same sensor that they would have in the 60D. What did they just announce?
The 70D?
They just announced a 70D.
That was 20 megapixels?
I think that's 20.2 with the...
Was it?
All of that stuff.
Well, it borrows a couple features from it, too, because it borrows that dual pixel AF system. Rumored again. 10 to 12 frames per second.
I don't believe 10 to 12 frames a second.
I believe it. It was 8 frames when it first came out.
So
original.
what? They're not going to
They're trying to market it as a sports camera.
They're not going to rape and pillage their other cameras that... Well, anyway.
Yeah, but at this point, the 70 is going to be 3-4 years old. The original.
Well, yeah, they take
just
forever to replace that stuff.
10 to 12 frames per second, ISO capabilities of 100 to 25,600. That's kind of the standard now for every brand. It's got a new autofocus system, which they're saying is probably built on the EOS 1DX system. Again, rumored. Jared's putting the microphone in his mouth for those wondering why I'm laughing. And there's zero chance, though. We still got time. Apparently, there's zero chance of it arriving in 2013. They're saying it'll be released the second half of 2014. So we'll see if that comes out. If those specs are true, only time will tell when that does actually happen. And this is pretty cool.
Only time will tell if you and I will be free. I just made that shit up. Oh my God, that sounded good. That's like pop gold right there. Give me a beat. Kick that beat. Only time will tell if you and I will be free. And then we need to get the EDM version. Hold on. Wait, hold on. Anyway,
let that beat drop. I'm waiting for the beat still.
Drop.
This is pretty cool though. Bing and 500 Pix have teamed up. Bing.
And by the way, 500 Pix just received a round of funding. I think it was $8.2 million. Round A funding. Go ahead. I was trying not to interrupt too much.
Nice. The search engine will now showcase images pulled directly from 500 Pix users, and they won't just put the images up. They'll also credit the photographer and link to their 500 Pix profile, and even include a short little bio about them. There's an info button on the right side of the screen. You can go to Bing.com today and check it out. Just hover over that. But the other thing is, you can also download it, but it's only for personal use license. So meaning you can use it as like a wallpaper, something like that. But the original photographer still owns those rights to the photograph, obviously.
Yeah.
Now, if you do want to opt in for this, you need to do it through 500 Pix. You just add images to the Bing Home option, which is in your organizer, apparently.
That's cool. Why not? Why not get your stuff out there and let people see it? Because I know
it's really cool.
Like Ryan, Kilkenny Cat, Ryan Connors, puts her stuff out there into the world. Getty picks some up on Flickr. She makes money off of that. Better than making nothing.
I license mine to Getty too.
Right. And then on top of that, she's getting emails from Australia to take one of the pictures and make it a rap. Like, not a rap, like they're not going to rap over it, like singing. They're going to make it a huge, like 5-foot long thing, or maybe even longer. She just keeps getting calls for people that want to use her work.
This is just via Flickr you're talking about? Or
well,
500
she puts
Pix?
it out on Flickr. This was Flickr, but
that's cool.
The same thing. You can get that just wherever you put it.
Yeah, and I'm gonna actually try and sign up for this. I haven't done anything with my 500 Pix account. I signed up for it back when it first started, but I got to start putting stuff.
Yeah,
out
it's
there.
pretty inexpensive.
Yeah, and some of the first sample footage from Red's new Epic Dragon is now online. This thing's a beast. It's amazing cinematic footage.
Is it replacing the Epic Pro, bro?
I think, but I'm not sure.
All right.
But yeah, it's called the new Epic Dragon, so it must just be a new version. And it's $29,000 for the brain alone, so it's not a cheap user camera.
But it's fantastic for $29,000.
6K sensor.
Right.
I mean, it's insane.
And you're not paying for all the film and everything to run through it. So for full-on broadcast.
Cards. And you can pull perfect stills right from the footage is what they're saying as well. There's test footage up. There's about 3-4 minutes of test footage, and it's just cinematic.
The stills are
amazing.
We've seen Peter Hurley do that with f-stoppers. They did a... you spill that coffee, Steven, I will punch you in the face. Anyway, they did that test where they pulled raw files from the video and took still images all the same. It was almost impossible to tell which was which.
When they printed it? Is that
when they printed it?
I saw that.
I mean, I think you could tell, but it was very hard to tell.
If you're pixel peeping and stuff like that.
Yep.
Photographs from Marilyn
Marilyn Manson. Steven.
Photographs from Marilyn.
Hold on. If you
What?
say Marilyn Manson, I got to come up with a Marilyn Manson song.
He did that cover of Tainted Love or whatever.
Well, yeah, but he also had We're All Stars Now. In the dope show, we're all stars.
Oh my God.
That's Marilyn Manson. I shot him once. And he threw water at me. It was awesome. I felt like I was part of the show, and because he looked at me and then he like threw his water bottle
Right on your camera?
Well, I
That's the
turned
best.
my back. It was fine. There's people that I talked about this before. People would flip out, like try to sue the guy. He's putting on a show. He's playing with you. It's
You
like
just
he's
happen to be in his
engaging with
way.
me. Well, I wasn't in his way.
No, I'm just saying.
He just made eye contact.
Photographers in the pit, like they think that they're throwing water specifically on them. He's not doing that.
He threw it on me.
Oh, well,
Specifically.
maybe you
No,
specifically.
he specifically looked at me.
You,
and
water
then,
now.
And then threw his water bottle. And I was like, awesome. I'm part of the show.
When I was shooting Panic at the Disco this past weekend,
I chimed in with, haven't you people ever heard of closing the damn door? I love how you can't say
radio edit.
Radio edit version. Mona
But
Lisa.
he went to actually throw water on people, and he took off the cap, and I'm waiting for it. I'm right in the pit, and he's kind of like, you guys want water? He's literally saying that to the crowd. So at that point, I turned my back, stepped a few feet away, and he just threw water everywhere. If I was right in front of him, which I was
Well, I watched it.
at the time.
I saw you.
You see me move?
Well, I was off to the side. I saw you move to the side. I don't even think you got the picture because you didn't react quick enough when it
No,
threw
I
it.
got the
Did
picture.
you get the splatters?
I got the picture of him doing motion, and then of the splatter going on all the people.
Yeah.
Come on now.
I just reset
got
this
the
one,
picture.
Steven. So go reset that one
All
or
right.
something. I'll talk about Panic at the Disco. I think they put on a fantastic show. I've seen them twice now. You guys, if you haven't shot, but again, shooting where you're shooting, we're going to make a video. Steven did a shot from the roof. It's an HDR shot, which looks fantastic. He also did a
Thank you.
fisheye shot. I know, it looked good. We're going to make a separate video where Steven talks about his processing of the HDR. It was handheld, which is just insane to do 3 different shots, bracketed to do and shot raw. It doesn't matter.
Yep.
Raw is good. But it's fantastic for the fact that this piazza is filled with over 8,000 people front to back. You see the stage. You don't see me. It would have been great. You missed me by like 5 feet.
I know.
If I moved just a little bit, you would have saw me and
It
Meg
would have been
there.
spot the fro.
But yeah, but it's going to be a great video that you're going to make.
Yeah, it'll be cool. Moving on again, Marilyn Monroe, not Marilyn Manson. Photographs from her first,
Happy birthday to you.
her very first photo shoot though is now online.
Happy birthday to you. I'm going to stop right there so we don't get sued if somebody owns the right.
I'm sure somebody
They own
does.
the rights, but they don't own the rights. It should be Creative Commons because it's old enough now, but they keep trying to sue
Happy
people.
birthday.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, photographs from Marilyn Monroe's very first photo shoot are now online. Photographer Joseph Jasger, which then known as Norma Jean Doherty, so I don't know if there's some sex change going on or something.
She was Norma Jean.
Or she was Norma Jean? Is that what it was?
Yeah, her name's Norma Jean.
Well,
Goodbye, Norma Jean.
Now he's
I
reference.
never knew you well. Whatever. That's
We're
Elton
never
John.
going to get by these. But he was one of the first photographers who shot Marilyn Monroe, and she first met Joseph at a studio in 1946. The story goes that he shot numerous photographs of her over the following weeks, including glamour shots that were used for her promotion. He then sold the rights to his entire portfolio, including the Monroe photographs, which then he spent the last few years of his life trying to regain control of the whole collection. I'm sure he regretted that. He passed away in 2009, though. But a couple of pictures from the shoot are now online, and it even includes the whole model release form, her signature, like everything about the rights, all that kind of stuff. So it's really interesting to see that this goes all the way back to 1946.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Moving on, Lens Rentals. They put together a list of the lenses that most often need repairs. Because they're repairing lenses pretty much every day. Because when you rent gear, people tend to beat it up and not care about it because it's not your own. Anyway, it's good to know if you're looking to invest in like a pricey lens or something like that. The lenses include Rokinon, Tamron, Sony, Sigma, Canon, Nikon, Tokina, etc. But a fun fact,
you forgot like Sony and Pentax.
I said Sony, but not Pentax wasn't listed though. These are just the ones that were listed.
Sigma, yeah.
Yeah, I said Sigma.
Okay. Sigma Sound Studios in Philadelphia.
Every lens brand, though, or a fun fact, every lens brand of the 70 to 200 has the highest rate of repairs needed. So apparently that's a lens that breaks a lot.
One of the most popular lenses ever.
Yeah. Well, that's the other thing, too. It also shows turnaround times of the repairs, which Canon being at the best at 5 days for repair, and Olympus being the worst at 40 days to repair for turnaround time.
Oops.
Yeah. It also showcases average repair costs that Nikon and Leica, with Nikon and Leica being the most expensive to fix, but that's because it's a fixed price to fix based on how much the product was originally. So Nikon and Leica obviously being a little more expensive, especially Leica, that's why you're going to get charged a little more to repair them.
And when I sent back my 24 to 70, I still had to pay like $300.
Yeah,
because it's based off of the price.
Exactly.
It's already predetermined if what the repair is going to be, and it could be more.
Yep.
But they fixed it. It's cool.
Cool. As long as they fix it, that's all that matters. And then last, we have a new company called Badass Cameras.
Badass Cameras.
Badass Cameras. Welcome to Badass Cameras. They're building an adapter that will allow you to use your smartphone as a cheap digital back for your camera, like a medium format. So it's the world's first medium format smartphone digital back is what they're calling it, which I'm
sitting here
wondering why.
Wondering what?
Yeah.
It's a what? It's your phone. Are they giving you an extra back?
No, apparently this is, it's going to be like, they're going to give you the back, which you can then connect your smartphone to or something along those lines. It's just a patent now. It's not really anything. It's just, they show like the schematics
kind
of
of
it.
like the similar idea that we were talking about, you and I, about
exactly.
the RAW camera
Yeah.
thing.
But the company, they're going to launch a Kickstarter campaign the next few weeks. They just brought the idea up and showed what it would look like. But basically it looks like your standard back, but you plug your phone in the back of it. Light is directed onto the camera of your phone, allowing you to capture snapshots that resemble what a standard digital back would capture.
No. See, that's bullshit.
That's what they're saying,
but that's
not what
it sounded like. It sounded like you buy a back, a different sensor, and you plug your camera in to operate it. Kind of similar to what Sony was talking about. But this says that it uses the camera from the phone.
Exactly.
Whatever.
It's weird to explain, but
again, all of this news is over on the website.
Yeah, you'll see the
news
full
we
schematics.
do. It's going to be up there on part 2. Just click the link below or go to FroKnowsPhoto.com/podcast, episode 47, part 2. You can see all of the news that we talk about.
So basically, you can take now even crappier Instagram pictures.
Yeah.
via
The one
this
other
new
news
back.
thing.
That is it.
Nikon
for this.
18-140 lens was announced.
Oh yeah,
I have that here. We talked about that. I put up a video. I didn't make a video actually. It wasn't worthy of a video. I wrote about it. I mean, it's a kit lens for $600. For $600, you could buy a 17-50 Sigma. You could buy something else, or you could save up and buy. Who knows?
It's pretty expensive for
more stuff.
A kit lens.
It's a kit lens. Look, if it's your first lens and it came with a kit and it's not that much more expensive, it's a nice range. 140. So is the 18-200, but I'm not a big fan of the mega zooms and spending too much money on it. The people ask me between the 18-55 or the 18-105. Look, if you can pick up that 18-105, why not? It's a little more zoom range. You're not losing much in terms of light. It's the same 3.5 to 5.6, I believe.
Is that what this one is too?
I think so.
Yeah.
Nikon, we talked about it, and I was like, okay, why? 18-140, awesome. $600, yeah. And my guy's like, yeah, it's a fantastic lens. I'm like, yeah, I'm sure it is.
Well, I think of like my brother, for example. He owns a Canon T3i or something like that, and he doesn't know much about lenses, and he uses some crappy kit lens now, but that would be something good for him because he'd never have to change, just keep 18-140s like everything.
Don't change.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a nice range because 18, the 140, you multiply it, you're almost at a 200 millimeter, I believe.
Yeah.
So it's not a bad range for that.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good lens. It has a 4-stop VR. Well, fine. It's going to be fine for video.
4-stop VR, that's not bad.
Yeah. But again, I rather have better ISO capability, drop my ISO to have a 2.8 and whatever. Glass. So that is really it for the news. Thanks to Alan's Camera. Big thank you to them. And don't forget, if you guys are interested, even to travel up from Nikon for the Nikon Allens of Palooza, leave a comment below. Let me know. We expect to have a good bunch of people there, but we're going to supply food to the first, I believe, 200 people that show up. That means it's free. And giveaways free, as many people as get there. And you'll have to be there live to win the giveaways. And I think that the rapid fire critique thing will be fun, whether you want me to critique your work or just ask me questions. We'll sit there for a minute or two until we move on to the next people.
Yeah, it's a cool idea.
Yeah. And people keep asking about the flash guide, Steven. Have you watched it yet?
I still haven't.
You still haven't watched it. You haven't had time.
It's 3 hours.
But I sent it out to Pascal. A lot of people are digging it. I went back to rewatch it because I had to put together the table of contents. And every time I go back and look at it, I'm like, damn, this is good. I'm like, I'm learning something from this every time. And Adam said it the other day because he had to go back and do something for me to fill in the table of contents, all the information below it. And he was like, It's like, this is really good. And we're not just saying that. And people that have watched it already have said the same thing. It's the basic information. It's the starting point. But then you get to watch us on actual photo shoots. We turn a bright window where you can see outside with cars and everything in the background.
That was really cool trick.
Yeah, was that crazy?
I didn't know that's what people could do. Like if you're on a portable shoot, like on location, and you don't have a backdrop.
Well, basically what happened is we made the scenario that we had to shoot the manager at the bar. They wanted a white background. We didn't have a backdrop. We didn't have a white wall. We didn't have anything. And Adam was like, why don't we just use the window? I'll show you how we can overpower the outside light, even though it's a strong, strong backlight, and use the flash. And that's exactly what we did.
Looked really good, too.
It looks like a studio portrait in front of a window, but you don't know it's in front of the window.
No, because at first I was just skipping through it, and I went to that part, and I'm like, wait, they actually had a studio backdrop, and then I rewound, and I was like, wait, what? What'd they do? Yeah, so it was pretty cool.
So what shirt you wearing, Steven?
I'm wearing the I Shoot Raw. Was it the camo
That's
edition?
the camo version.
Camo version.
But let me ask you a question. What kind of pants did you wear with that, Steven?
I wore camouflage
pants. I can't believe you wore camouflage pants.
They match well.
Oh boy, oh boy.
I feel like I'm ready to like go and
what?
And be in the army or something. But I
be
Shoot
all
Raw
that you
edition.
Can be.
Yeah,
it is. It's
bring
pretty
my
good.
camera instead.
All right, so we have a new segment that I'm bringing out today. Everybody always wants to know what's in my bag, and when I get something new that I purchase, why not just put it up here on the table? So a while ago, I ordered the Zoom H6. I owned the Zoom H4 when it first came out, and when we're doing these raw talks, to do these things on the road, or maybe even to just do it on the road. We'll plug our road microphones into it, yes. This thing is freaking cool. If you're not watching at home and you're listening to the audio, go check out the website to see the Zoom H6, but this is it.
It's incredible.
Talk about what they've changed. The old one had 2 XLR inputs, right? Mm-hmm. And now you have 4 built in. 1, 2,
with phantom
3,
power.
4 with phantom. Explain phantom power real quick.
Basically, when you need a 48 volt connection, that's what phantom power is. Normally, it wouldn't support like a condenser microphone like this or something like that needs extra voltage to run. This being a portable one, you wouldn't think would include that, but it does. Usually, it's only available for like boards or stuff like that, or little channel mixers. So it's really convenient to have that.
Right,
we can do this whole show on that.
Well, yeah. What is cool is that it has a color screen. Now we can watch the levels. You can watch the levels bounce from all the inputs. So Steven could kind of just sit here on the table and just rotate my levels as I get louder and louder.
So I'd be just turning them down every second.
Well, yeah. He could just play with the levels while he's sitting at the table. I paid, $3.99 for this.
Yep.
So I did buy this. They are not a sponsor. This is something that we bought for the show to make it better. And we can plug up to 4 Rode mics in. But what's even better is that they have these add-ons that can go on the top. So we've got this one. I could sit this in the middle of the table, and it would kind of give us 2 directions for audio. We're going to do a full review of this where we test out all the different functions. But also, if you had 6 XLR mics, you can buy an attachment that goes into the top like this.
That's crazy.
That allows you to do up to 6 XLRs into this. It uses an SD card. I believe it takes 4 batteries. Yep, 4 batteries. Feels good. Nice rubbery feeling. And this is just something new that I picked up.
Yeah, that's because the H4n... before that was incredible, and this one's an upgrade, and I'm still surprised that the price is the same.
$3.99.
I thought it'd be at least $500, maybe $600, especially with these add-ons that it comes with.
It comes with more than what the other one did. The old one just had the XY.
It just came with the XY mics, exactly. And it's still the same price, and it's an upgrade.
Yeah, awesome. And this is portable. We can go do a raw talk in the park.
Yeah.
We can set up our Rode mics because we have the windscreens, and we can go ahead and we can do it.
And for those that don't know, we use a Zoom board that is probably about yay big or so.
24 channels,
24 channel board, yeah. And that's not something we can bring wherever we want. This is something we can put in our pocket and walk away.
And if I'm on tour, I can take it on the road and record. Or it's great for portable audio. If you're doing digital SLRs and you've got maybe some Rode
shotgun mic or something.
Mics. You want to put it somewhere, and then you just want to record concerts, put it somewhere.
Yeah, a lot of people use the H4n's XY mics and do that, especially if they're doing like an acoustic performance, say, or something like that. Those XY mics are incredible for picking up that kind of sound.
How are we doing on time? We forgot
We're doing
to check.
Good. We're about 30 minutes in, so
we might want to get on because part 2's coming. But no, I just wanted to talk about this. So from here on out, or from time to chime, assembled in China. So it says designed by Zoom in Japan, assembled in China, whatever that means.
Because they got to get the cheaper work labor.
I don't know. But anyway, I bought this $3.99. I'm glad we have it for the show. It's something that I think is going to help us take it to another level.
Yeah, definitely.
So from time to time when I get new gear, I'm going to throw it up on the table and we'll talk about it.
Yeah, we should just do it one time too and just do the whole show from that.
Well, we're going to have to test it out.
Yeah.
We're going to make a test out video. We're going to go from there. We're going to do all of that stuff.
Awesome.
So now we've reached the end of this portion. Photo news. We need some of your music, guys. Send something in that you think we should use. We'll plug it in. We'll get a board. We don't need to do sound effects, but you know. We
that
used
would be
to do
cool
that.
too.
I know. We'll plug it sound effects and cheering and all that stuff and me going yelling and Marilyn Manson. But that is it for the news portion, the photo news and the intro. Coming up right now is part 2 of last week's long-ass Raw Talk. And it's the music concert lowlight show. Coming up right now, part 2. Enjoy it, and we'll see you later. Max Berman. Watch levels here. Ja Rastafari. That's what he wrote. No, he wrote, Ja Rastafari. I heard that. I love reggae music when you go in there. They're like, Ja Rastafari. All right. Ian Middleton Duff, do you think there could be teaming up with you and Steven to cover a gig? You talk about second shooter on weddings. Have you considered this, working as a team to cover an event? The only time that would come into handy is if there were multiple stages going on at the same time. Then I would have Steven at one stage and I would have me at another stage. If I had to put together... What?
We've done that before.
We have?
Well, I'm just thinking of like the radio station shows where typically we're at, or like festivals. Haven't we shot festivals before?
We've
shot Made in America. We did main. Well, we didn't really shoot together.
We weren't shooting together. We were shooting the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like if I had to cover an event and there were multiple things going on, I would take 2, 3, 4 photographers. This person would be in charge of this. This person would have to go and shoot this stage. Then this person would be candids of the crowd. You know, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Ian Middleton Duff again. Loads of questions this week, Jared. How do you keep your images fresh? From an idea perspective, how do you get your images seen in the right places? Well, first off, how do you keep them fresh? When you're shooting live shows, you can't. There's not much that you can do different day in and day out that's going to set you apart. That's why I like to get behind stage. That's why I like to work with Matis. That's why I like to work with Gavin, because I can get access and get shots that other people do not get.
Exclusive photos.
Yep, exclusive photos. How do you get your images seen in the right place? You just put it out there, honestly. You got to just get it out there. And the artists help you get it seen.
Yes, that is true.
Ollie's Fotes. Hey, Fro and Steven, in parentheses. I shot my first night of bands a couple weeks ago, and the thing that I struggled with most was getting the picture pin sharp. I call it tack sharp. Do you have any advice that I could apply to help with getting my pictures that little bit sharper? Well, first off, it's a big thing to do with shutter speed and your focusing. If you're not focusing with continuous focus, or the artist is not moving and you're not using single and the right aperture, I mean, those are the keys to sharper images. Higher shutter speed. Make sure your focus is where you want it in terms of the focus point.
A lot of people tend to forget to switch it to continuous autofocus or something like that, because like one shot they'll keep it on, or what is it? For Nikon, is it the same thing?
Continuous?
Single shot, yeah. Like they'll keep it on single shot or one shot. You need to switch to continuous, especially if your artist is running, unless you're just constantly focusing every 5 seconds. But a lot of people tend to do that and then realize, like, why are my pictures out of focus? It's because of that.
And Fusco doesn't shoot continuous. He shoots on single and still focuses it where he needs it. Yeah,
it depends. It depends. I will do one shot if it's just like a guy with a guitar sitting there. Yeah. But if he's moving, if it's Justin Bieber or something, you know, running around like a freaking maniac, then I'll always be on continuous.
Baby. Oh. All right. Mike Kendalaft. Does the song affect the pictures you take? Sometimes. I find myself shooting to the beat.
That is exactly what you're doing.
I'm shooting on the downbeat. The beat. The downbeat is when there is no beat.
The downbeat's the downbeat.
That's in between, right?
No, that's usually when it's like think of like the drummer like yeah. It's when he's actually hitting the drum itself.
That's when I hit. That's when I shoot. I find myself shooting to the beat. But yeah, the music does affect it. I shoot. I mean, sometimes when it's faster paced music, you shoot a little faster. I mean, it's just how it is. You're like click, boom, click, boom, click, boom.
And a lot of people wait till the chorus to shoot, because that's when usually when the singer's actually full on, mouth open, all that.
Okay, so this brings up some things now. A lot of people I see a lot of people's concert photos from the same concerts that I shoot, and I sit there and I go, why are you delivering this image or this image or this set of images when I look at it and I go, It looks like one, the singer's eating the microphone. One, they look like they're taking a crap because of the face that they have. I just don't understand how the anticipation is different from me to somebody else. And I see it with your work, because your work you anticipate the same way that I do. Yep. And I see the other people and I'm like, well, they're just not capturing the right moment, because there is the right moment when it comes to a show. There's the guy screaming versus the guy wincing. Yep. Sometimes the guy wincing isn't a good shot. I mean, there are these shots that present themselves, and you have to capture and shoot them when they're there. But I just see some of these other people that I just think they just shoot, and they don't really think about the situation.
And don't get me wrong, there's been plenty of times where I've missed that moment or something, and I do get that, wincing face or looks like I'm taking a crap face, but I just don't show it. That's an instant delete.
Well, it's not. I don't delete on the camera. I save everything till later.
I actually do, yeah.
But it's my choice about what I put out into the world. That is how I keep the allure of quality up higher. The quality is there, but if you take, say, 600 shots with Modest in the studio, and I'm going to deliver about 200. That's even a lot. I would love to deliver 25 of the best of the best of the best with honor, sir, photos. But they're going to get more than that. I mean, so your perception of somebody's work is based off of what they actually put out there.
Yeah.
Chris Crane, lots of bands are starting to use LED lighting now, which is super bright, especially the blues and the whites at close ranges to the artist. Trying to quickly compensate for these lighting changes can be pretty challenging and also cause a lot of underexposed, blown out shots. If you don't compensate your exposure, what is your solution? We talked about this earlier. That I go with the shutter speed first. I mean, if it's really bright in one area, then you just have to expose for that area, and you're not going to get the background. Another thing is drummers are usually in a bad area. They're never going to get a lot of light on them.
Yeah, drummers. And don't ever forget the drummer. Don't forget the drummer. A lot of people tend to.
A lot of people sit there and go, Jared, why aren't you shooting the other artists, the other guys on stage? Like with Gavin DeGraw.
It depends. That's Gavin DeGraw. That's all they care about.
The band is Gavin DeGraw.
Exactly.
The band isn't the other guys. Now, these other guys are nice. And if I was on the road, I would definitely get great photos of all of them. When I'm there to shoot that artist, that is Gavin DeGraw, then I am going to shoot Gavin DeGraw. I'm really not going to focus on anybody else because they are not going to sell, or that's not what most people are looking for. It's nice to get shots of them for them, and which I will do, but in this situation, no.
A lot of people tend to not follow that rule, and they'll tend to shoot the whole band when it's like a solo artist, or like you're shooting Bruce Springsteen or something like that, or you're shooting Madonna and you're getting the bass player. You know what I mean?
Right.
But yeah, Springsteen is different. That's why it was a bad example. But say, for example, Fun, the band Fun, they have 5 members or 6 members when they're actually touring.
But only 3 real members.
Only 3 are in the actual
Jack
band.
Antonoff.
Exactly.
Nate,
Roos, and
the other guy.
Adam Dorst or something.
What's he play?
Andrew Dorster.
He's the piano guy,
He's
right?
piano and sax and stuff like that.
So he's the least known guy of Fun.
Yeah, I guess so.
All right,
but
Christian.
just make sure you keep in mind, do your research, see who's actually in the band.
Yeah.
Only photograph them.
Christian Gratz. They had 2 questions. I'm taking the second part. My second question is, what would you do if the artist you shoot takes your pictures for social media, like Facebook or Twitter profile pic? Would you want him to pay or give it for free when he credits you? Happened to me recently.
Happened to me several times.
Sometimes you give away to get access. Okay. So you're supplying them with the images. They're not going to get them unless you give them to them, or actually if you post them, they're going to put them, they can go to your website or Facebook and they can share them and take them. Now they have the right with Facebook to just hit the share button and put it on their wall. They should be asking you permission to use the images. That's what it comes down to. They should ask you for permission to use them. I don't think you're going to get paid for them to use a profile picture because they'll just take something else, or it's a profile picture for a week or 2. Use this to your advantage. If they are asking you to use something, then ask them for something. The next time you come to town, I'd like to hang out. I'd like to do sound check. I'd like to not just hang out, but I'd like access. And that's the way you start making this stuff happen. If they're reaching out to you for something, ask them for something. That is what you should do. Noah Silvestri, if I were to shoot a show with 1 full frame body and 1 crop body with a 70-200 2.8 and a 24-70, which lens body combination would you recommend and why? Yeah, I know you briefly touched on why you shoot with one body on the last week's Raw Talk, but it would still help to know. Cheers. Honestly, unless I have two bodies that are the same quality, if I had two D4s, then I could see putting a 24-70 and a 70-200 on them. I'd still leave one of them sitting in my bag because I don't want it hanging over my shoulder. I don't want to question what lens I'm going to use or what camera I'm going to use at that point. If I have a full frame camera and I'm shooting a show, that's going to give me better quality than the DX camera. That is what I want to use. So that is why I switch from one lens to the next. Personally. So if you have to choose the option, I leave the DX in the bag unless you really, really need it. Maybe you put a wide angle on there, but even then you're at DX. Steven, any input?
I've personally shot with two bodies a couple times on various occasions, and I didn't like it. I didn't enjoy it because I honestly spent more time concerned about the cameras being banged around versus actually shooting. But there's some people that they got used to it and they love it. And I mean, it's got its pros and cons where, the pro being instead of taking the 5 seconds to switch your camera or switch your lens, you just pop up the next one, which has a wide versus telephoto or whatever. So, it's kind of a mix and match.
How are we on this other camera?
We got about 8 minutes left.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I still have 5 pages
We're
left.
an hour and 15 in.
All right. We're going to keep going. Brian Windsor, I've taken your AMB. Always be marketing to heart. As I travel 100%, it adds an extra layer of difficulty. I don't know what that means.
Yeah.
I've begun just showing up at local clubs and start shooting the band.
Nice.
Someone always wants to know who I am. I tell them I'm a freelancer and they always ask to send them photos. I will email them about 2 to 3 free keepers and a link to where they can buy more. I've made a few $100 this way, but many call me a crook when they see prices on the gallery. Your thoughts? So he did go ahead and give me he said, I failed to mention that my prices are as follows. 1 image, $25. 2 images, $40.
What size
3
are
images, $50. 10 images, $10.
This is just digital?
High-res, edited, copyright-free images. Holy shit.
Wow.
So
that's without print.
First off, you're not a crook. If you're giving 10 images for $10 freaking dollars, they must be $10 each.
No, yeah, I was gonna say.
If you're giving even $10 an image, even $25 an image, you're giving them the high-res file and copyright-free images. You're letting them do whatever they want with it. This is by no means a crook. If you're making money off of that, good. Now, this isn't going to happen when you start shooting bigger artists.
Yeah.
You're not going to start making that money there. But to get a couple bucks is pretty good. I don't think you're doing anything wrong. You're showing up. You're supplying a service that somebody wants, and they're going to either buy the images or they're not. And I don't think your prices are out of line at all. I don't think they're great. But if you can make a couple bucks for it and you enjoy it and you have a good night, then that's awesome.
It's a shame, too, because I think a lot of the pricing really hasn't transferred yet from print to digital, where if that was a print, an 8x10, say, for $25, that makes total sense. But when you're getting the full-res digital file, a lot of people tend to think, well, it's a digital file. It shouldn't be worth that much money. It's still technically almost the same thing.
Exactly.
If not better, because you can print it at whatever resolution you want and blah, blah, blah. But yeah, it's just like magazines and like web galleries and stuff like that, how the prices just dropped.
Yep. Matthew Pyle, 2 questions. How do you set your autofocus when shooting from the pit? And any tips for who to talk to or network with while shooting a show and try to get more work at a venue? I'll take the first part first. How do you set your autofocus? A lot of times it's either continuous, 9-point, or single focus. And I am moving my focus points independently to try to find the eye, to try to focus there if I can. That's what I do there. Secondly, who should you talk to at the venue? There's a bunch of people to talk to. Usually the venue doesn't give a crap. They're just there to make money off of putting on a show, unless you can become the full-time, the guy that they call to shoot all the shows. The house photographer, which they're probably not going to pay you for, and they're going to want to put pictures up on the site, but it gets you in and it gets you into the other shows that you want. So you want to talk to the Jerry type guy. You know Jerry, long hair Jerry?
Yeah.
For
usually, or whoever runs security or something along those lines.
Well, not the security, but you want to talk to who's running Who is the head of the venue? They're usually at the show at some point.
Head of marketing or promotion or something like that.
Promotion, give them a card, follow up, get them some photos.
They're usually the ones granting the access too for a lot of the shows or following up with the artists and getting the photo passes and stuff like that.
Right, but also don't go calling venues to get photo passes because they have nothing to do with it.
Agreed.
Who do you network with? Talk to tour managers with the band. They are in control of quite a lot. If you go to the tour manager and say, "Hi, my name is," and here's some work. Bring work with you, and I don't mean just bring work on an iPhone. Bring a book. Put a small Adorama Pix book in your bag. This is something tangible that somebody can hold and go show the artist to get them to say, "Oh yeah, let this guy shoot with me." Then that would be good. So talk to those people. What are you doing, Steven? My levels?
I'm just bumping you up a little bit.
Why, I'm getting quiet as we're getting into the hour?
Yeah, as we're
Ray
going.
Richter asks, where's Richie and Leora? Leora just moved to Brooklyn. Yep, she upped and moved. She took initiative here.
Oh, wow. Good
she
for her.
wanted to make a change in her life.
Nice.
At least that's what I get from her Instagram and from her Facebook. And she chose to do something about it. She got out of what she was doing. She's going to probably focus on her photography. She's putting herself into a situation to be successful because she was not happy with her situation.
Good for her.
She did something. And that's great. If you're not happy with something, you're the only one who can change it.
Yeah.
Where's Richie? Richie is shooting. He is assisting a ton. He goes up to New York to assist Adam. He assists. Who did we have on 2 weeks ago? What was his name? Dom Savini. So he assists like a handful of guys. So he is.
I think he's
busy.
always with Fusco too, right?
He works with Fusco. He goes all over the place. New York, travels to Miami, wherever he needs to go. He's a great assistant. He's always busy. So that's where Richie's at.
Nice.
And that's where Leora's at. Dico Omis, just as you bumped my levels. Primes are much faster, but zooms are much more handy. Have you ever shot an entire show using primes instead of zooms? So I like using zooms. If I am limited to 3 songs, no primes are coming out of the bag except maybe the 16 fisheye.
Yep. If
If I have the whole show to shoot or multiple shows to shoot, I am going to try every which lens that I have. I'm going to break out a macro lens, which I took to the studio with me to get the tight shots of the nice macro shots of the board.
Nice.
I'm going to break out an 85. Then I may even try the 200 f2. Maybe not, but I will, just because it gives me a different look. So that's what I would do. Matthew Riley, what settings do you use when in low light? ISO 6400, f2.8, shutter speed 250, question mark? Matthew, the answer to that question is you don't know what your settings are going to be until you get there. You don't have control of this. So I can't give you, there is no basic starting point for anything except for that Sunny 16 rule. That's a basic starting point. But I can't tell you 6400 at f2.8 at 2/50th of a second. It's all based off. And honestly, I wouldn't, if I had my druthers, I would not start at 2.8. I'd start at 3.2. I want my ISO lower. I want it at 2500. I want it at 3200. I want it at 4000. But I'm not starting at 6400 ever.
Yeah.
Ever.
I never start that high.
That's too high. And 2.8 is too wide. And 2/50th may be too slow.
I mean, granted, if you know you're going into a show that's like not even lit, that might be feasible, but that's going to be rare.
Frank Solly. Standing up front, you tend to get pushed around all the time. At the back, you get more elbow room. What do you prefer? The back with a big lens or up front? Well, I don't get pushed around in the pit. Steven doesn't get pushed around in the pit. So this sounds like you're in the concert itself.
Yeah.
You're going to get pushed around. It's going to be very hard to shoot from the crowd. Shooting from behind, back, boring shots most of the time, very generic, but you have the ability to get the hands up there. You have the ability to get some stage diving. You have the ability to do some different things. But if I only had 3 songs, I'm in the pit. I'm not going to shoot from the soundboard or from the back personally.
Yeah.
Good addition, Steven.
Yeah. That's pretty much all I have to say about
Anthony Pena. Except there's no tilde thing over this. It's Pena. So I'm going to say
Pena.
Pena. But there's no thingy thing.
So it's not Pena.
When is this new flash guide coming out? I talked about that earlier. We're about a month out, which is great. It's done. It's in the can. It's edited. Now it's just getting everything ready from the page, the website set up to just releasing it. So we're looking at September.
Nice.
Stanley Schneider. No, Schnayder.
Yeah, Schneider.
Schneider. Hey, Jared. Hey, Stanley. While shooting at a concert or any low-light situation that requires a fast shutter, do you think it is acceptable to use the upper limits of any camera's ISO, even older crop cameras such as the Canon T1i or Nikon D3000? Absolutely. I don't care if you use the higher end. Oh, snap. I got to say something. So I was on Twitter, Steven.
Yeah.
And one of my readers, whatever, mine, not yours, mine, was outside shooting. They have a D7100. They had a lens, and they were complaining about an oil or a dust spot. And they're like, I'm in the middle of nowhere. I went to Walmart, and they didn't have anything to clean my sensor. And I went here, and they didn't have anything to clean Radio Shack. I'm really disappointed. This camera has an oil spot. I'm really upset. This shouldn't be happening. I'm like, send me the picture. So they send me the picture. They shot it at f/22. Anytime you shoot a camera at f/22, you're going to see
every
all
little
the grain, not the grain. You're going to see any imperfections like dust or oil spots. You're going to get oil spots. I get oil spots on my D4.
Oh, I'm sure.
But I just saw it when I shot at f/22 at a concert the other day, but I'm never at f/22.
Yeah.
I'm not shooting concerts at f/22. So you're rarely, if ever, going to see the noise and that dust really show up. I would not concern myself. Stop reading all the crap on the internet about dust in oil issues. If shit's going to be there, it's going to be there. It's going to stand out and be really bad. And then the next day they sent another tweet and were like, I know I shouldn't have gotten this camera and this lens combination. The pictures are looking horrible. They look all terrible. And I said, send me the picture. And they sent me the picture. And the first thing I looked at, and it didn't have the settings, but it looked grainy and it looked no color. And then I'm like, send me your settings. I'm like, because what it looks like is your ISO's too high. So their ISO outside shoot, and I'm not ripping on you because you know who you are, but I'm not ripping on you. I'm just sharing the story with everybody else. They were at that monument with all the presidents, that Mount Rushmore thing.
Okay.
The image was shot at 25,600, 1/5000th of a second at like f2.8.
Whoa.
Okay. Oh no, it was f22. It wasn't 2.0. It was f22, 1/5000th of a second at 22,500 ISO.
This is daylight, I'm assuming?
This is daylight, bright as day.
Does he... Why? Yeah, what?
Well, I said, and I said this in the nicest way. I'm like, without sounding like a dick, it's human error. And that's why I tweeted later on Twitter and Facebook, I said 99, and I didn't say 9 out of 10. I said 99 out of 100 times that you think the camera has an issue, it's probably human error. There are those situations where with the D600, there were some oil spots that were terrible and bad. But in this situation, this guy shooting at 22,000 or whatever, it's 25,600 or whatever it is, that maxed out. Of course, you're going to see the picture look crappy.
You'll see that on a D4. I mean,
you're going to see that in anything that's going to look crappy because you're outside. You don't need to shoot it there. So that was human error.
Yeah. I guess he really likes his deep apertures.
Yeah. But you didn't even need to be there.
I know, you don't need to be there
because you were at 1/5000th of a second shooting Mount Rushmore. They're all dead.
They're not
rocks.
Moving anytime soon.
They're not moving. So you could shoot that at 100th of a second at ISO 100.
22.
At f/22.
Yeah, whatever you want.
Steve sang, hey Jared, when shooting a concert, would you stop down one f-stop to get a sharper image while increasing ISO to maintain the shutter speed, or shooting wide open at 2.8 or f4 without the need of bumping the ISO? Look, if I have room to slide and I want to go to 3.2 or f4, I'm going to increase the ISO a little bit if there's enough shutter speed, if I can do that. I don't want to bump the ISO willy-nilly. I don't want the ISO to bump way too high, just like that guy had that issue. If I have room to shoot at 3.2 at a good shutter speed, then I'm going to do it. If I need to bump my ISO to get a better shutter speed to stay at 3.2 or 3.5, I'm going to do it also, but within reason. Tyler Harrington. Last year, I was able to gain access to some big name concerts by shooting for the school paper, West Virginia University. This allowed me to build my portfolio, but now that I'm out of school, I don't have access to bigger shows anymore. What is the best way to get access and make money doing so? Who usually is paying you for concert gigs? The band, the venue, or an outside party? Let's take that part first. Nobody's paying you.
Yeah.
Most of the time, nobody is going to pay you. And I don't mean to sound smug about it, but it's just the fact. Unless somebody is going to pay you maybe $25 a blog is going to pay you to shoot it, or a band's going to have you come out for a couple $100. Freelancers are not going to make money at it. It's just not there. It just really isn't there. Now, the first part of it, you used to go to school. Well, who do you work for now? Did you start a blog for your photography? Did you reach out to other blogs or magazines? Because most of the time, these guys just want your free photos to get into a show, and that's what's going to happen. They're going to give you access to get into the show. So you just need to find somebody to shoot for, and really, the money isn't going to happen very soon. It may happen at some point. Look, I don't get paid to go to a lot of shows to shoot. I shoot just to shoot because it gives me the ability to meet some of these artists that may lead to getting on tour and may lead to making money on photos, like Matis, like Gavin. That stuff happens, but it takes time. You have to pay your dues. Yeah,
usually the only way you'll get paid, like you said, is if you're going on tour with a band, the band hires you for that day, or the label hires you to do a photo shoot or a press shoot or a promo shoot or something along those lines. That's really the only times. I mean, for me, I lucked out. The radio station pays me to do these things. It's not much, but it's still it's fun. I enjoy it because it's I got the best seat in the house. I'm getting paid for it, and I'm shooting.
And you're meeting cool people.
Yeah.
Andrew Bloomquist, do you find it difficult to find a spot in the pit? Is it first come, first serve, or is there a certain level of this guy always goes there? The only time it's this guy always goes there is red carpets sometime. They have the AP is here, the local newspaper is here, and then everybody else has to find their own way. In the pit, it's first come, first serve. Like when I went and shot the Lumineers, I was the first person in the pit. I set myself up right smack dab in the middle because that's where the lead singer is, and that's where that drum that says the Lumineers is going to be. So remember when we shot Psy?
Yep. You got a great spot.
I got the Psy spot right in the middle because I went there before Psy was even done.
Yep.
I owned my spot. I will sit in a spot for an hour to get the right spot if I need to because I'm pre-thinking of what I'm going to shoot. Get your shots. If I stay there the whole time, I don't care. If Steven's there, I'll switch with Steven.
Yeah, we've switched many times.
Because I'm looking out for those guys that I work for. And then a lot of times if I'm I don't just stand there and watch. I'm there shooting. And if there's somebody next to me, I'll be like, "Hey, why don't you stand here for a minute? This is a good spot. Why don't you stand here?" Or if there's new people in the pit, I'm like, you may want to stand next to me for this shot.
If you have the best spot, I don't recommend staying there for 3 songs, especially because all your pictures are going to look the same.
Right.
But number 2, it's like kind of pit etiquette. You should really let everyone kind of get their chance at it. But what I usually do, just speaking of where to go.
Hey, Steven, do you know what sucks about the Lumineers again?
What?
Their songs are 2 minutes long. So when you get 3 minutes you get 3 songs to shoot
minutes.
and you have 6 fucking minutes. The first concert I have levels. The first concert I ever shot was the Counting Crows, and the first song they played was Mrs. Potter's Lullaby, which is 6.5 to 7 minutes long.
Nice.
All right? Go ahead, sorry.
Well, that's just going on that. That's like Death Cab for Cutie. Their first song was like 10 minutes long. And Dave Matthews Band.
I wish that I find out of something.
If you ever get to shoot Dave Matthews Band, do it because you get like 30 minutes in the pit. And it's great because all their songs are like 10 minutes long.
Yeah, and back to the etiquette thing. If I'm shooting right in the middle, it's until I get that wide shot that I'm looking for. I actually did stay in the same spot for the Lumineers the whole time. Because they only have 6 minutes, but I didn't shoot wide the whole time. I started off wide, moved to the 24 to 70, shot some verticals, shot some horizontals, then switched to the 70 to 200, which didn't really work out very well because there's not much interesting going on with them. Then switched back to the 24 to 70, and by that time the show was over because they were done. And then they started to sing "Ho, Hey."
And there's those rare times where you really can't move, where it's too tight of a pit, or for example, your situation where there's, the songs are 2 minutes long or it's a quick set. But what I typically do to find the best spot is to watch the show, find a YouTube clip from the night before of the opening song or something like that, see where they're all standing or whatever, and see who you need to shoot and get into that position first and be there first.
And see what hand they hold the mic with. Like Macklemore holds it with his right hand. It's always in his face.
Thing. See what hand, so what side you got to be on.
Yep.
So you're not blocking. Yeah.
Sean, how much time was good on this camera?
We got about another 8 minutes.
Damn, we're going to try to wrap it up.
We're about an hour and a half in.
All right, well, the GoPro's still going because I got the extra battery pack.
Nice.
Sean Taylor, do you feel it's much more... Okay, I'm losing it here. Do you feel it is much more expensive to get into the photography game now versus the film days? No. I mean, why... Back in the old day, if you bought a film camera, you had to develop film. More expensive because you have to go and process your film, buy rolls of film. Digital is, so what? You buy $12.99 for a D7100. It's no different than back in the day when you wanted to buy, say, the N90. The N90S was like, what'd I spend for that camera? I don't know, over $1,000, probably $1,200 for that film camera. So no, I don't think it's more expensive to get into the game. I just think it's harder because there's more people doing it.
Yeah.
But it's also easier to get into the game because you can learn a lot more. All right, I think this is the last page, and then there's one more question.
Nice.
Do they handle Lila? Also, what quality? Oh, I skipped most of his last question. Anyway, Adam Torres, yo, my man. Comma. Do you change your white balance when shooting a show? Question 2, white cake or chocolate cake? I like chocolate cake, especially devil's food. Personally, love devil's food. I kick the ass out of making a bundt cake. My mom taught me back in the day. I make it from scratch from the box. Betty Crocker, Duncan Hines. Probably I go with the Duncan Hines. And I do not put... you had my cake at my party, right?
I think I did.
How moist and awesome was it?
It was delicious.
It was 10 times more sensitive. It was so tasty. And I do not put icing on my cake. So first part of the question, do I change white balance in shooting a show? Nope. I think that the camera is going to auto white balance pretty damn well because the lights are changing way so much, but we're shooting RAW. We don't have to worry about it after the fact.
That's really the only thing that we leave in auto, actually.
Yep. Luca, other than autofocus.
Yeah.
Luca Lazzarini. Lazzarini. What if you like the band that you are shooting? Could that influence in your work? Would be better if you just don't like the music so you can focus on shooting? Well, when I like the band, I kind of tend to know more about them, and I know what I'm going for. If it's a new band and I don't know who they are, and they're just like an opening, a supporting act, or they're really boring, I sometimes won't even shoot them. Maybe take a shot or two, but I don't waste too much time doing it. No, I mean, I don't care whether I like the band or I don't like the band. My job is to get great pictures.
Yeah, the only reason I would say get a little better pictures if I really enjoy this band is probably because I've seen them live before many times, and I know that they do this during this song, or that during that part of the set. Blah blah blah.
Check this out.
What's up?
ZSOLT. Zolt Karaksoni.
That's an awesome name.
Zoltan. Zoltan. What can you do if the performer crops your logo out of the pic and you told them? The photo can be used with the logo only. Well, you ask them nicely to not crop out your logo. I mean, there's nothing you can do.
Yeah, there's not much at that point.
If they're using it and they crop it out, then that's what's happening. You just ask them to do it. Even if you don't put a logo on it, just ask them to put in your credit. Just contact them. Ask them nicely before jumping to conclusion mats. BC Sparvier. With your years of experience in shooting concerts, what do you look for in placing yourself for those shots? Do you find out the layout of the stage, where you're going to be, where you're going to shoot from? That's a good question. We talked about this a little bit. I like to know where the artists are going to be, so I watch the YouTube clips. I look at other photos on YouTube, on Google. I see what other people have captured. That gives me an idea. But if you know the venue, you know the layout of the land. You know where you can shoot from. You know what the stage is going to look like. Then the other part is figuring out what the artist is going to do. So just doing your research beforehand is going to help. Also, when I shot Gavin DeGraw, I never shot him before. I shot him once before. Back in like 2003 or 2004, but I didn't have stage access, and all he did was sit behind the piano at that time. Now he gets up and he sings and he stands and he runs around the crowd. I didn't know these shots. Wait till you see these shots, guys. There was a time where Gavin got off the stage, which is fine. Usually artists go into the pit. He didn't just go into the pit. He walked up the aisle, stood on one of the seats, sang while all these people are standing around him trying to touch his balls, and then he gets down off the seats. He goes to the back of the venue where it's an amphitheater and it's open to the grass. He goes out to where all the real fans, not everybody, the fans who paid for the lawn tickets, and he's singing out there, all with his wireless mic and everything, and he's singing while going through the crowd while everybody's, oh my God, this is Gavin singing right in front of me, trying to get their pictures taken. I didn't know this was going to happen. They didn't tell me. They told me he jumps into the crowd, but they didn't tell me that he goes around the crowd. So I had the 24-70 on. I walked on. I was on the stage shooting in the middle. I jumped off the stage and walked. It's pouring out again. I jumped off the stage into the pit, found him, got my way through the little girls yelling, punched a few of them, elbowed a few of them, kicked a few of them. I didn't really do that.
Your steel boot.
Well, yeah, with my steel-toed boots, I was like, get out of the way, damn kids. No, I got more. I'm like, excuse me. And I just walk, and they look at me, and they don't say anything because I have the camera. So then There was a point where I needed to get ahead of Gavin so I could get the whole crowd because I wanted to get a wide shot. I didn't take my bag. I would have never worked. I just had to quickly react with the one lens that I had on. So I ran ahead of him by like 20 or 30 feet so that I could get him walking towards me with this crowd of people. And that's what I did. So, put myself in the situation. Sometimes you just have to react to what's going on. Hans Watson, if you're photographing a massive festival such as South by Southwest and you have time to shoot, I kind of didn't put all his question because I wanted to stop at South by Southwest. How do you pick what to shoot? South by Southwest isn't easy. There's about 100 and there's like 400 shows going on in a week. Most of the venues have shitty lighting. What I would try to do is shoot what's going on the street, shoot the scene, shoot what's happening. Try to get in with bands so you can shoot.
Photojournalist mode.
Yep, photojournalist mode because the venues are going to suck. The lighting is going to suck.
Oh, yeah.
That's just what's going to happen. You got to go with something in mind to capture. Have a certain story. People's tattoos, people's piercings, interesting people in the crowd, walking around the streets, because that's what happens a lot. And then try to get in with the bands and tag along with one band for a while. See if you can spend all day with them. I don't know if it's Georgie Rodriguez because it's a female, but I'm going to say Georgie Rodriguez. How do you interact with the band? 1, put them at ease. 2, for them to work with you before, during, and after a performance, do you shoot... Oh, that doesn't make any sense. I'll start with the first one. How do you interact with the band? I talk to them. I say hello. I show them my work. I just act as if I've been there before. That's another thing. If you're going to get access and sit on somebody's tour bus, don't look like, you got to start somewhere and it's got to be the first time you do it, but don't be all like, oh my God, what is this? This is awesome. This is amazing. Just sit there and be normal.
Yeah, don't go into fan mode.
Don't go into fan mode ever. That's a good way to not... Like the first time I shot Matis, when we spent 12 hours together, just he and I basically, from the tour bus to the venue where he was warming up, to him praying, to him walking to the shoe store, to him going out to eat. I said to him on the bus, I said, why did you give me access? Why did you do this? And he's like, well, my manager said that you were the real deal. He's like, a lot of times fans just want to come hang out and they come and they take pictures, but it's just fan mode. All they want to do is be fans, and you were the real deal. You came here and you just shoot. You do your thing and we hang out and we talk. I mean, that's what it is. You're not a fan. You're just a friend. You're a person. That's important. And their third question was, do you shoot as a journalist or paparazzi? The good and the ugly. Well, it's never the paparazzi. I always said this. I would love to try to hang out with the paparazzi people. And what I would do with these celebrities is I would be the guy holding up a sign going, can I have permission to shoot your picture? Or I'd be like, can I shoot your picture? And my camera wouldn't ever come up. And I would follow this person, not follow them around, but I would see them multiple times. And I would make sure that I asked each time until the one time in my theory that they would say, wow, you haven't taken a picture of me yet? I'd be like, no, because you haven't given me permission. And I know some people some of the celebrities ask the paparazzi to be there, but there's also others that don't. Yeah. Like Batman, not no, you can't take my picture. No, and that's Kanye West did that. Don't talk to me. Don't talk to me. He sounded like a douchebag.
Because Kanye West
he's got a song. This is for the douchebags. Yeah, that's Kanye West. But Joseph Gordon-Levitt, I don't know if you saw that video where he turned around on the paparazzi and started filming them.
I did not.
I think Petapixel had it.
But I love that, man.
Well, great. I like him a lot.
Yeah.
And so he ran into these two paparazzi who chased him down, who did a bunch of stuff. They didn't ask. They just ran him down while he was just having a time with a friend. So he turned it around and went on them. He put his camera on and he's like, hi, how you guys doing? Can I ask you a couple questions? And he did this in a way that he wasn't being a dick.
That's awesome.
He's Joseph Gordon-Levitt. I think he's a freaking cool guy. He's a musician as well.
Yeah, he seems super cool.
And he's very good. He just seems like a down-to-earth guy that if you asked him, hey, do you mind if I get a couple pictures? That he'd be more than happy to say, sure, why not? Because you asked. And I'm a big fan of saying that you asked because I think it's going to get you a lot more. And if they say no, you say thank you. Maybe I'll try again another time. And then they're going to get used to it. But he turned the camera on these guys, and their guy was sitting like, please don't film me. I don't want to be filmed. And he was just, the guy that he was filming was being a dick. He's like, why were you chasing me around? He's like, oh, should I tell him? And he was talking to his other paparazzi guy. He's like, should we tell him why? And he's like, nah, we don't want to tell him that. And he's like, no, I'm going to say it. He's like, because, you were with another guy and you may be gay.
No.
And it's like, he's like, really? He's like, I can't. And then he points to, and then he shows the camera on his friend. He's like, hey, who cares?
Wow.
But he chased them around and he turned it on them and he started asking them all these questions about being paparazzis and don't you think you'd get more if you do this or do that? And he turned it around and I fully respect that. And that's why I would personally ask for permission of these people until they said yes. And I think that I would stand out amongst the crowd, not just because of the hair, but because I did ask, because I did not shoot a picture until they gave me permission. And then that's why when you're at, like, I was once in New York and I was out to eat and the guy that was sitting at the table across from me was the guy who was in Boiler Room who sat at the table. Have you seen Boiler Room?
Yeah.
All right. So I think he's a gay guy or he played one in the movie and they were sitting at the table and you got that other guy who was yelling and whatever. They were being loud at the one table. So the guy, it's like, could you guys please turn it down a little bit? And the guy goes, could you go back to your island? And he's like, what island's that? Gay Island? And whatever. It was the guy who was funny. He had a really, he's like, yeah, Gay Island. He's like, and you're on it. And the guy tried to kick his ass in the movie. You've seen that scene.
Yeah.
But anyway, that was the guy he was eating. I just said, excuse me. And I wanted to say hi. And I had a camera. I was shooting film at the time. And I just wanted to say hi. I loved you in Boiler Room. And he's like, do you want to take a picture? I'm like, no, it's all right. I just wanted to say hi. I don't need to get a picture. We said hi. And that was good enough. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's awesome.
The last question here. Nicholas Dorsey, 2 questions. I sent out a bunch of emails to local newspapers and music blogs, and I had one of them respond. He told me that he did not have a photo budget yet, but could get me a pass into the concerts. I know I'm not getting paid, but these are images that I could use for my portfolio that I wouldn't be able to get any other way.
Do it.
Is it okay that I'm not getting paid? And after 1 or 2 times, should I ask him to cover my transportation or something small like that? Also, is it okay to shoot for 2 different clients at the same show, or should you only do same for one job? Well, first off, you kind of answer your own question. You need access. They have access. They help you get in. If they're not paying, so what? You start somewhere. Yes, at some point you ask them to try to cover transportation, cover my parking, cover a couple bucks for dinner. They're going to want to, if they're a blog that's reputable or they're making money off their blog or they're getting traffic off of it, you ask for something. You know what? Throw me $25 to go shoot so I can get gas money. Everybody makes fun of how I say gas money. But yeah, it's all right to ask, is it okay to shoot for multiple publications? Well, if you're on assignment for Rolling Stone, then you're on assignment for Rolling Stone. You're going to give them first shot at the images. After they get first shot, then it's open fair game unless they want rights. Then you can do whatever you want. Even when I shot for Rolling Stone, they said, we get first shot, we pick the pictures. After that, you can do whatever you want with them.
Nice.
That was what it was. Now when I'm shooting freelance in the pit, even though whoever I'm shooting for, like if I'm shooting for Live Nation, I own the images. I'm going to reach out to Spin Magazine, Billboard Magazine. I don't even know Spin exists. And Rolling Stone. I'm going to send them images on occasion. But I don't sell that many of them because they don't really buy that many of them unless you get something extremely, extremely unique. So no, look, first off, if they're not paying you, then they can't dictate that you can't be shooting for somebody else. Don't send them the same pictures. Take multiple shots that may look the same and then share them. There's nothing wrong with doing that. Do you agree, Stephen?
I agree.
Again, this has been the Music Concert Lowlight Show, RAWtalk episode number 47. I want to thank allenscamera.com for all of their support through the years. Thank you for them, and thanks Nikon for being the sponsor here for Allen's Camera. Check out all of Nikon's gear at allenscamera.com or in the store, new and used, point and shoots, DSLRs, definitely the D600. Check that bad boy out if you're just jumping into full frame cameras, and the D800. I want to thank Rode Microphones again for supplying these microphones. They didn't ask for anything in return other than using the microphones. Obviously, product placement's a smart thing to do. I got something out of it. They get something out of it. I love these mics and stands. Steven loves them. But also, don't forget about if you pick up a Video Mic Pro or Stereo Video Mic Pro, that you will get a free copy of Red Giant's Pluralize 3 audio syncing software. That's a value of $200. Actually, it's $199. And that's just like maybe spending $29 for a microphone. If you're going to buy that one, if you were going to buy Pluralize, holy crap, Pluralize, you might as well buy a microphone too. Buy the microphone and get Pluralize free. It's like spending $29, right, Steven?
Yes, sir.
And that is it. Steven, thank you very much for this week.
You're welcome.
That is all I've got for RAWtalk episode number 47. Don't forget to subscribe on YouTube, Don't forget to subscribe to the email list on FroKnowsPhoto.com. Just look for the orange box. You'll get a free guide to capturing motion in low-light situations. If you're looking to get better photos and get out of auto, check out the FroKnowsPhoto Beginner Guide. You can do that at FroKnowsPhoto.com/guide. This is where I'm just going to start plugging crap because you guys are at the very end. If you made it to this point, stick-to-itiveness times 3. If you made it here, I want to hear stick-to-itiveness times 3. So yeah, definitely hashtag some things, some quotes that we've done, and other than that, but I think this was fantastic, really good. How long is this show, Steven?
This is an hour 50 almost.
Holy shit, this is the longest show I've ever done, but it was worth it. I think I could do the dick thing. We could cut it. We could do an hour and then another hour. Screw that. That's too much work, isn't it? It's too much work, isn't it?
That's not too much work at all.
You want us to do part 1 and then part 2?
We could, but do you want to?
I think we could do that.
It is a long episode.
It is a long episode, so maybe we're gonna do that.
Should we release it the same week, or should we?
No, it'd be 1 week and then the next week, so that it covers 2 weeks, and we could get ahead of the game, Steven.
We could.
I'm thinking that we may do that. What was that?
That'd be a first.
Well, yeah, which means if you're listening to this and it's 2 parts, I've already told you guys that it's going to be 2 parts.
Should it be stick-to-itiveness times 4?
I don't know. I really don't know. Maybe I'll think about it. I got a couple minutes to think about it. So that's it, guys. That's it. That's all I got. I'm going to sign out. Jared Polin, FroKnowsPhoto.com. See ya.